Piers Morgan didn't just criticize Meghan Markle, he ripped into her entire Hollywood royal act live on TV and left the audience roaring. He exposed every contradiction, every emotional performance, and every attempt to play the victim while living in a California mansion. It was brutal, hilarious, and impossible to look away from. If Meghan and Harry built their empire on sympathy, what happens when the world finally stops feeling sorry for them? World's biggest victims? Piers mocks. Their self-pity.
They trade off Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the royals, to make themselves incredibly rich. And I do wonder if there's a point where Charles goes, actually, you can't do.
Piers Morgan didn't waste a second taking a direct swing at Meghan and Harry's favorite storyline, that they are the most persecuted couple on earth. He rolled his eyes and labeled them the Duke and Duchess of Netflix, pointing out that instead of serving the crown, they now serve streaming ratings. The way he sees it, the couple has turned victimhood into a business model. Their pain is the product, their resentment is the pitch. And that Netflix series is their latest commercial.
Yeah, nobody set out to destroy you. You destroyed yourselves in this country with your ludicrous, hypocritical.
Meghan's claim that the monarchy wanted to destroy her set Piers off. He called the idea ridiculous. He reminded the audience that when Meghan first joined the royal family, the UK welcomed her with huge enthusiasm. The media praised her as a breath of fresh air. The public celebrated a biracial American actress becoming part of the monarchy. Even the royal family embraced her at first. Piers says the narrative that Britain hated her from the start is simply not true. What changed was not her skin color, but her behavior. According to Piers, everything began to shift when Meghan and Harry started contradicting themselves on national television. One day they wanted privacy, the next day they were selling documentaries and memoirs exposing every private moment. One day Meghan spoke lovingly about royal duty. The next day she called the entire institution toxic and racist. Piers insisted that Britain didn't push them out. The couple pushed everyone away when the spotlight wasn't bright enough or flattering enough for their liking. He also mocked how the Netflix show constantly paints Harry and Meghan as the world's biggest victims. Piers argued it's almost insulting to people facing real hardships. There are families dealing with loss, poverty, war, and sickness. Yet the Sussexes act like mean headlines are worse than any of that. He said watching them complain from a California mansion worth millions feels like watching two people who have completely lost touch with reality. The racism accusations. Piers fights back. When Harry and Meghan claimed that racism played a major role in their treatment by the royal family and the British press, Piers Morgan didn't hold back. To him, that was the most damaging and dishonest accusation of all. He said, calling Britain a racist country is not only untrue, it's deeply unfair to millions of people who celebrated Meghan's arrival into the royal family with genuine excitement. Piers said Britain is one of the most multicultural societies in the world, and the idea that the entire institution set out to destroy Meghan because of her race is absurd. He pointed to real evidence. Meghan's wedding was watched by billions, celebrated with pride, and praised as a historic moment for progress. Newspapers printed glowing headlines. TV presenters from across the political spectrum complimented her intelligence, charm, and beauty. Piers himself congratulated the couple publicly. He said the truth is simple. Everything was fine until Meghan and Harry began acting like rules didn't apply to them.
Bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism, which apparently was aimed at Meghan Markle.
Piers argued that Meghan uses racism as a shield to silence any criticism. If someone questions her behavior, she labels it discrimination. If someone challenges her stories, she calls it bigotry. He warned that this tactic not only hurts the monarchy, but also harms real conversations about racism by turning it into a defensive tool instead of a real issue. To him, Meghan is not calling out injustice. She is weaponizing identity for personal gain. He also issued a powerful warning. Millions of people around the world will watch the Netflix series and believe every word. They won't fact-check. They won't know the truth about British culture or the royal family. They will absorb a version of the story that makes Britain look hateful and Meghan look heroic. Piers called this one of the most successful propaganda campaigns he has ever seen. And while Harry and Meghan accused the royal family of unconscious bias, Piers pointed out the painful irony. Meghan has cut off her own father, who raised her alone. She refuses to let him meet his grandchildren. She demands compassion from everyone else, but shows none to the man who loved her first. Using Princess Diana for sympathy, Piers explodes.
I find it all puke-making. And I speak as someone who's actually in one of these things. I pop up. Yeah, me. And to my astonishment, I was being very nice about Meghan Markle.
One moment during the Netflix series made Piers Morgan visibly furious. Prince Harry repeatedly compared Meghan Markle to his late mother, Princess Diana. He described Meghan as having Diana's compassion, her empathy, her warmth, and her ability to connect with the public. Those comparisons pushed Piers over the edge. He called them puke-making and offensive, saying Meghan is nothing like Diana. And the attempt to use Diana's tragic legacy for sympathy is deeply disrespectful. Piers reminded viewers that Princess Diana was loved because she was genuine. She connected with people in hospitals, on the streets, and in crisis zones because she truly cared. Diana didn't see compassion as a brand strategy. Meghan, on the other hand, preaches kindness and empathy while cutting off her own father completely. Thomas Markle raised Meghan mostly on his own. He worked hard to give her opportunities and paid for her education. Yet she refuses to see him, won't call him, and won't even let him meet his grandchildren. Piers highlighted that Thomas Markle recently suffered a stroke and is in poor health, but Meghan still didn't reach out. How does someone claim to be an icon of compassion while ignoring their own father's suffering? Piers kept pressing that question. To him, the contrast between Meghan's actions and her public messaging isn't just hypocrisy. It is cold-hearted. Harry talking about protecting his family like Diana only made things worse in Piers' eyes. He pointed out that the Netflix series uses archived clips and photographs of Diana to sell their story. Meanwhile, Harry once criticized the media for exploiting his mother. Now he is the one using Diana's memory as a marketing tool. Piers found that level of hypocrisy unforgivable. Privacy, but with cameras. Netflix, hypocrisy exposed.
So we had to flee the country for family privacy, says Harry, as we watch a $100 million documentary in which he flaunts his young children and shares private text messages, intimate photographs for the entire world to see.
Another thing Piers Morgan couldn't resist tearing apart was the couple's endless message about wanting privacy. Harry said they fled the UK to protect their family from press intrusion. Meghan cried about feeling hunted by photographers. Yet here they are, starring in a global Netflix series revealing every corner of their lives for millions to see. Piers called the whole setup ridiculous.
When it comes to paparazzi, I had more paparazzi outside my house when I was forced to leave my old job for disbelief.
He laughed at the idea that a couple claiming privacy concerns would invite a massive film crew into their home, show intimate family moments, and share personal text messages publicly. Piers said that this documentary wasn't forced on them. They chose it, they sold it, they marketed it, and they earned millions from it. So how can they complain about attention while begging for clicks? Piers then exposed something even more embarrassing for the Sussexes. Several paparazzi clips shown in the documentary weren't even real footage of Harry and Meghan. One was from a Harry Potter movie premiere, years before they even met. Another was taken at a court case involving a reality TV star. A third was staged by their own team. Every clip that was supposed to show dangerous paparazzi chaos had nothing to do with them, and Netflix used it anyway. To Piers, this crossed the line. He said, if the couple has to use fake harassment footage, maybe the story they're selling isn't true. He also mocked the dramatic scenes of Harry shielding Meghan from cameras. In reality, those photos were cropped from older pictures with his ex-girlfriend. The truth kept falling apart the more Piers looked. The Netflix series, boring, cliché, and whiny.
It's dull, it's predictable, it's cliché-ridden. It's simperingly sycophantic.
When Piers Morgan watched Harry and Meghan's Netflix series, he expected something dramatic or at least entertaining. Instead, he said it was like watching a marathon of slow-motion sighing. The entire thing looked expensive, polished, and beautifully shot. But underneath the cinematic visuals was a storyline that felt like déjà vu. Every single episode was packed with the same complaints we've heard 100 times. Meghan didn't feel welcomed. Harry felt trapped. The media was cruel. The monarchy was cold. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Piers called the show dull and predictable. According to him, there was more energy in a library on a Tuesday night. He said every time the series hinted at a new revelation, it led right back to another dramatic monologue about how unfair life has been to them. The couple filmed their struggles inside a multi-million-dollar mansion with personal chefs, stylists, and assistants all around them. Hard to cry for people who have everything while insisting they have nothing. What annoyed Piers the most was the tone. Harry and Meghan speak as if the world should stop and applaud their courage for leaving royal duty. They act like they are modern freedom fighters standing up against oppression. In reality, Piers said, they quit a royal job that came with luxury, privilege, and a lifelong platform. They weren't escaping danger. They were escaping responsibility. Piers also took aim at their celebrity ambitions. He joked that they desperately want to be the next Kardashians, just without the fun. He said if you choose reality TV as your career path, you need at least some charisma. But Harry and Meghan bring the same energy as a school lecture. Everything is so serious, so emotional, so heavy. It's hard to enjoy a show that constantly tells you how much you should feel sorry for two incredibly wealthy people. He even mocked their dramatic voiceovers, saying each episode felt like a long therapy session the world didn't ask to attend. The series tried to tug at hearts, but instead, it dragged, and dragged, and dragged. Truth versus their truth. Piers fact-checks their claims.
No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth.
Oh, God, you wouldn't know the truth if it hit you around.
Once Piers was done calling the show boring, he went straight for the substance. Meghan and Harry kept using a particular phrase throughout the series, our truth. For Piers, that was the biggest warning sign. He said there is the truth. And then there is storytelling. And what Meghan and Harry are doing is storytelling with dramatic lighting. He started by pointing out the shifting narratives. The couple once said they met on a blind date arranged by a friend. Everyone believed that romantic story. Then Netflix comes along, and suddenly Meghan claims Harry first slid into her DMs after seeing her on Instagram. Which one is it? When even the love story changes, Piers said, something is off. Then the proposal scene. In old interviews, Harry described a cozy night roasting chicken in their small cottage. Netflix showed a luxurious garden filled with candles and a camera crew capturing the surprise Meghan even told her friend beforehand that he was about to propose. Piers laughed and said the only surprise was discovering how staged it actually was. Next came the royal protocol claims. Meghan insisted no one helped her understand palace rules, curtsies, or etiquette. Yet documents show she was given a full briefing guide. Palace insiders confirmed they tried to support her every step. Then she claimed she avoided bright colors so she wouldn't overshadow other royals. Piers rolled his eyes and flashed photos of Meghan wearing bold reds, greens, yellows, and everything in between. The biggest lie Piers attacked was about her family. Meghan claimed palace advisors told her not to invite her niece Ashley to the wedding. Officials denied this completely. She also insisted she had no relationship with her half-sister Samantha, while earlier interviews proved they were close for years. Piers' reaction was basically, if you're going to rewrite history, at least check the old footage first. He didn't sugarcoat his conclusion. He said Meghan has a habit of bending facts to support her victim narrative. Whenever she gets caught, she changes the story again. Harry stands by her each time, turning truth into something flexible and convenient. Piers dared Meghan directly. If you don't like being called a liar, sue me. He knows she won't, because court would require proof, not performance. The Thomas Markle situation. One moment in Piers Morgan's takedown that hit hard was when he focused on Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle. Piers said there is nothing more revealing about a person than how they treat the people who raised them. And in Meghan's case, the picture isn't flattering. Thomas Markle wasn't an absent parent. He worked long hours in television production, earning enough to send Meghan to private schools and help her chase her Hollywood dream. While Meghan's mother gets praised publicly, Thomas was the one paying bills quietly in the background. He proudly supported her every step. Then, suddenly, he was cut out like he never existed. Thomas suffered a stroke not long ago, and he's struggled with his health since. Piers asked viewers a simple question. How does someone who constantly preaches about kindness and compassion ignore their own sick father? Meghan didn't call, didn't visit, didn't allow him to meet his grandchildren. Even worse, Harry has never met the man whose daughter he married. Piers found that shocking. For a couple who constantly talks about mental health, love, and family unity, their actions toward Thomas seem cold and unforgiving. Meghan claims her father betrayed her by speaking to the media. Piers argued that he only did interviews because he felt abandoned and confused while the entire world watched his daughter enter royalty without him. He wasn't perfect, Piers admitted, but nobody is. That should not make him disposable. Piers pointed out how Meghan and Harry talk endlessly about Diana and compassion, yet Meghan refuses to show even the smallest amount of empathy to her own dad. He says that contradiction destroys their credibility. Compassion isn't just a word you post on your lifestyle brand website, it's a behavior you show to your own family, especially the one who raised you. If Meghan can cut off her father that easily, Piers asked, then who else might she cut off the moment they stop praising her? That question made viewers shift in their seats. It added a darker layer to the couple's public feud with the royal family. Maybe Meghan isn't the one being abandoned. Maybe she is the one doing the abandoning. Race baiting and victim profits. Another huge focus of Piers Morgan's rant was Meghan's racism accusations against Britain and the royal family. He said Meghan has turned the issue of race into her constant shield. Any criticism of her behavior is labeled hate or prejudice. And Piers refuses to accept that. He said there must be room to question actions without being branded a bigot. Piers argued that Meghan has discovered a very profitable formula. The more she claims to be a victim, the more fame and money she earns. Every interview, every podcast, every documentary leans heavily into the idea that Meghan is always under attack. She's not just telling her story, she's building a brand around pain. Piers said she has become a professional victim, someone who uses outrage as currency. He reminded viewers that before Meghan accused the royal family of racism, she was loved. British media celebrated her arrival. Crowds filled the streets to cheer her wedding. Headlines applauded a modern monarchy. Then she started accusing Britain of being a hateful country that ruined her life. Piers said that accusation damaged the reputation of an entire nation, and she did it without providing any solid evidence. Piers made a critical point. Racism is a real and serious issue. That is why, in his view, using it as a tool to avoid accountability is unforgivable. When Meghan claims racism, many people feel pressured to defend her even when her actions are questionable. He said she uses identity as armor, and she knows how powerful that tactic is. He also pointed out how the Netflix series frames every moment of Meghan's life through a racial lens, turning ordinary disagreements or royal traditions into personal attacks. Piers called that manipulative and dangerous. Because if everything is racism, nothing is. And real victims lose their voices in the noise. For Piers, the biggest problem isn't Meghan talking about racism, it's her using it to shut down the truth. She profits from telling the world she was mistreated. She profits from portraying herself as the brave outsider crushed by an evil institution. Piers said Meghan's wealth today comes from monetizing victimhood, selling sympathy, not achievements. Meghan and Harry, royals or reality stars? Piers Morgan's biggest frustration with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle can be summed up in one question. Are they still royals, or are they now just expensive reality stars? He argues that the couple walked away from royal duty not because they wanted a quiet life, but because they saw a more profitable path in Hollywood. Duty was replaced with Netflix. Contracts. Service was replaced with streaming deals. And in Piers' eyes, loyalty was replaced with self-promotion. He points out that the royal family gave them everything. Harry was born into privilege, protected and supported by the institution from childhood. Meghan was embraced with open arms and granted a title that billions of people around the world would give anything to have. Their wedding was a global celebration funded by taxpayers. Their home, security, lifestyle, and luxury were all covered by the crown. Harry once wore that privilege with pride while serving his country in the military. But Piers says the moment Meghan entered the picture, everything became about branding and control. Piers has no patience for their endless speeches about privacy either. People who truly want privacy don't sign multi-million-dollar deals to broadcast their personal life to the entire planet. He says it's impossible to take them seriously when they cry about press attention while giving Netflix full access to their private archives and children's videos. One minute they say, "Leave us alone." The next minute, they're promoting their next docuseries. Piers calls that hypocrisy in its purest form. What sets him off the most is how Harry and Meghan repay the royal family. Instead of gratitude, they have launched a public attack campaign against the monarchy, accusing them of racism, coldness, lies, and cruelty. Piers believes that every claim they make is designed to damage the very institution that gave them their fame. And the more damage they cause, the more attention and profit they gain in the United States. Piers goes even further, calling them traitors to the country they once served. In his eyes, Harry and Meghan are not telling their story for healing. They are selling their story for good publicity, money, and revenge. He says they abandoned their duties and their queen while she was still alive, choosing to chase celebrity culture instead of honor and responsibility. And now they attack the royal family from the safety of a mansion, knowing the monarchy cannot argue back publicly. He warns that when you let fame outweigh duty, something important gets lost: respect, credibility, integrity. Piers believes Harry and Meghan traded all three for Hollywood clout. They went from being respected royals to being content creators with titles. And that downgrade, he says, is entirely their own doing. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.